Welcome to If You Haven't Been There podcast with your host, Devan-Lepinski.
I gotta run to my truck.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Hi, this is Devan-Lepinski, and this is If You Haven't Been There podcast. I have brought my brother back on. Well, he's going to be on. We just talk about this shit. This is travel stuff. This is how I get to do it, how you get to do it, how we all kind of want to do it. And welcome, Tyson. What's up, dude?
I don't know. It feels pretty good to be an indentured servant.
What? Wait, what's that mean?
That you forced me to work on this podcast. Not only do I produce it, but I'm a guest occasionally when you let me out of the cage. And
Yeah.
Things are getting better. They're looking up.
If you mind your P's and Q's.
I'll try.
So it is. I have not done one in a while, and that's something that bothers me. But I'll tell you. I'm just gonna tell you right now why I haven't done a podcast in a while. I have been landscaping and buying a fuckload of equipment and tools, and I mean, for Christ's sakes, I bought a fucking dump truck.
Yeah.
I bought a trailer that came with the dump truck. I bought an irrigation trailer, enclosed trailer for underground sprinklers. I got a ditch witch. I got a compressor. I basically spent most of my fucking house money on a company, and there's a good reason for it. One, I love fucking landscaping, and two, it's seasonal. I want my freedom to travel, and you know this.
Yeah.
So
We all know this.
like that. There's some nights, dude, where I lay awake and I'm like, fuck, did I fuck up and spend too much money of my house money on this company? Because I could have just went and traveled the world. I could have just taken a year off, 2 years off, 3 years off.
With that money, absolutely.
And traveled the world. And I know for a fact that that would have been absolutely amazing. Now, I'm not broke by any means, but it would have been absolutely fucking amazing.
Well, by the time this podcast comes out, you will most likely be broke.
This one?
Yeah.
Like this podcast number 6?
Oh, number 6.
Yeah. So I bought that shit. And I'm sitting there thinking some nights like, fuck, I made a mistake. But I also know deep in my heart that it wasn't a mistake because I know it will fund trips. Now, say you have X amount of dollars. Let's just put a number to it. Let's say $100,000. And you chip away at that. 1,000, 2,000 here or there, taking trips. And you keep chipping away at that. And what if you chip away at, all right, I work for the railroad. I get furloughed. I still have tons of money. I'm not saying tons of money, but I'm still fucking sitting comfortable when it comes down to my life and being homeless, living in a truck. And I chip away. And I keep chipping away, and I do everything I want to do in the next fucking 2 or 3 years. Next thing you know, I'm down to like fucking $40,000 or 20 or 10 or fucking nothing. Let's say it's out. I'm back to fucking square one. And I spent all that money that almost didn't seem real and not as much appreciated as it would be is if I take the time that I have now to earn the freedom. Earn every furlough season, every layoff season, earn it. And it gives me a reason to work. So yeah, I lay awake knowing, fuck, I've spent a good portion of my savings on equipment. But here's how my brain works the other way. I just jump right into company stuff and fucking what my goal is. And what my goal is to earn my trips, every trip. So they hold a lot more value. And they will hold a lot more value if you do that. Whereas, so I've been reading this book called Vagabonding. I just gave it to my grandma tonight, your grandma as well. And I'm like, read this. She'll never get to go anywhere. I mean, she'll never go anywhere. Not in a mean way or nothing like that. It's just the way the fuck it is. And in there, it says, who's more... Okay, there's 2 kids. One kid forges his knife out of steel. Completely, like, builds it from the ground up. And the other kid, his dad just gives him a knife. Who's more likely to cut themselves? You know, probably the fucking kid that just got the knife because he doesn't know the value that went into the motherfucker. So that's what I'm kind of thinking with my landscape business. Not only do I like doing it, but I know it is a ticket to my freedom. And every irrigation head I dig in, every piece of pipe that I pull, every rock... yes, just jerk it off.
For those just listening, I just emulated masturbation on a male level.
Yeah. So then I like get excited about my work because there's value in it. And that is weird because I know if I do it and I do it to the best of my ability, it's not just paying off, it's me learning something new in my experience as a landscaper or, you know, the skill of that. It pays off that way, and it pays off with the money where I'm going to use the money to travel and reinvest back into my company too. It turns out I got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have this podcast, I have the YouTube, and I have my little Instagram. And I'd kind of put those on the back burner to go and do my landscaping. And then now I'm going to Iceland, you know, and I railroad full time, 7:30 to fucking 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I'll go work after work, dude. Like, I'm putting forth as much effort as I can to set myself up to the life I want to live. And for that, I think I'll appreciate it a lot more. And I think if people do that, they will appreciate it more because you work really hard for it. And
well, again, to go back to the knife euphemism thing, like, you're not going to cut yourself. You're also not, well, you're not going to cut yourself short. So as far as I'm concerned, you did the exact right thing.
in a way,
with the money that you got from selling your property and then not being... how do I put this? You don't need to live comfortably. Neither one of us has ever had to live super comfortably
we never had comfort from our parents
to
at
make
all.
it. No. And that's just hashtag generational trauma, whatever.
No, it's how I choose to fucking handle it. I mean,
Yeah. And for the most part, you had to figure that out on your own. Or, you know, with some advice from a couple mentors that shall not be named.
there has to be some mentors out there, and there is. Otherwise, you learn to do it absolutely the hard way. But, dude, some people that do it the hard way, and they're like, "Oh, I did it the right way," but you can tell they did it the hard way. You don't have to fucking have them as a mentor to have them as a mentor. Like, they don't have to tell you how to do shit. You can just see it and be like, "Oh, fuck. That's not the way to fucking do it." And I'm not saying the way they're doing it's wrong. It's just I feel like I have maybe not a better way, but a way that better suits my idea of how to accomplish said goal, whatever the fuck that goal is. Mine, obviously, you know mine. Like, I have to get back into my podcasting and stuff, and but also everything else takes time to do,
Yeah.
which is fun. I like it.
I see it on my level with HVAC, like the job I'm with now.
Yeah.
I have a couple people that are younger than me, and because I have, well, in September it'll be 18 years of experience in HVAC.
Which is fucking crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, I'm 30 something. I don't even know my own age. I don't give a fuck.
I just turned 35 on Monday, so you're
so I'm
36.
like 30. Yeah.
You're 36.
Thanks.
Yes,
Yeah, I'll be
because
37 at
yeah.
the end of the year. Anyway, I see them doing things, and then the panic sets in. And I'm like, I just sit back, cross my arms. Like, I could answer a question that they will sit and wait for 3 hours on hold with tech support, but not very many people, my mentors, would allow me to sit on hold for that long because I was willing to listen. So in the process of learning my craft and then also training people and being trained nonstop, you find a way to streamline those things that makes sense in your head. That is where your productivity comes from. You start growing as a person, a technician, a laborer, an engineer, anything like that. And you just get better at what you do. It's all practice. It doesn't matter what it is.
Dude, we're
You just
all
keep
growing
doing it.
every day.
Some of us.
Well, yes, some of us. I want to bring up like my job, my fucking 9 to 5, my railroad job, the job that affords me the insurance, the fucking the furlough money, and my retirement. It's railroad. It is only fucking railroad. I don't see growth there. I see comfort in a way where I'm like, fuck.
Well,
How far do you go into this fucking? I'm 5 years into this fucking thing, and how far do you go into it before you like either pull the plug and study what you want to do and do what you want to do? You know, learn and just do that, or you stick with something that is comfort, like say our uncle that had worked at a steel mill, and he had comfort. He had comfort, dude. And he passed away.
For the most part, security.
Yes, that's what he desired.
His comfort was in taking care of his family, providing for his family.
Yeah, I don't think
he
I
stuck
think
with that job to make sure that was the end result, and he did it.
well, yes, he did, but I think even if he didn't have a family, he would have still stuck with that comfort because man, this is comfort. This is I don't have to do anything, but basically die. Because all you got to do is work, show up to work. It's easy. You know what to do. I don't like that, and I'm in it, but I mix it up so fucking much when it comes down to the podcast, my traveling, and my fucking landscaping. I'm not excited to go work for the railroad. The only thing I know is all I got to do is show up and get a fucking paycheck, dude.
Absolutely. So what you're doing is not only are you investing time into the railroad career, and that might seem limited in growth, but what you're doing is affording your type of desired lifestyle.
Yeah.
You're not fucking around and changing
I mean,
jobs
it's a
every
cool
18
job.
months like me. Totally different.
Yeah, you had to fight
scenario.
for it.
I had to fucking tooth and nail.
And I could take more
Sometimes-
I could take more responsibility at work, but
But that also might take away from your ability to go. I mean, you could probably go into signaling or something, right?
no, they don't have furlough, dude. I'm staying.
Exactly. So your investment in time at this job, even though it is
Gives me that window.
A, B, C, it's not
Yeah.
the rest of the alphabet. The rest of the alphabet is what you earn in A, B, C. You can go find somewhere else, whether it's landscaping, whether it's travel, whether it's, anything else, but you're sticking to your guns.
I like my comfort.
works.
That comfort there. I'm sorry. If I had to do this year round all the fucking time, if I couldn't get away from it, I would definitely feel like blowing my brains out. And I would also definitely feel trapped. Where I know we got a bunch of guys that I work with, and fuck, man, I just don't relate to a ton of them. I don't relate at all. There's like 2 or 3 max that I really relate with. And I'm fucking sober. I'm coming up on a goddamn year sober. I know my very small audience knows that. I hope. But I used to relate to the drinkers, dude. Because that goddamn drinking, misery loves company.
Yes.
And when you're in the bar, it's so easy to daydream with other friends about what you want to do and what you're going to do, to the point where you're like, fucking A, it feels like you did it. And then you wake up hungover, you start that fucking cycle over again.
All over again.
And
you didn't accomplish anything
I
other
spent
than
money.
dreaming.
So I spent money, and then I'd start to gamble because I was like, they kind of go hand in hand. And I've talked about this fucking shit on here. And start to gamble. Now I've lost some money. Doesn't matter if you fucking won 800 one night. You're going to lose 1,000 the next, dude. And you're also going to feel bad because it doesn't make you feel good. But I could relate to those people is what I'm trying to say, because I've already told somewhat of that story as how gambling and drinking and how it like ramped up since I got the railroad job, because it's full of people like that. Great people. But it is full of that type of shit. And I don't blame them. I forgive them. Fuck. Do what you got to do. But I'm so far out away from the garbage attitude and lifestyle of fucking
the downward spiral.
Dude,
that's all it is.
The young dads at this job, they fucking constantly throw, and maybe they'll hear this, but I don't give a fuck. Dude, they constantly throw rocks at each other like fucking kids. And
literally throw
rocks at each other, smaller ones, dude, nonstop, all day fucking long. And they're the ones that'll be like, you're fucking lazy and shit. Dude, I've had a couple instances. I don't know, go vent about work, but I will wrap this into something that I have to tell you. Because obviously, I'm just talking. I need to get you engaged here.
I'm not interested.
Yeah. No. Well, yeah, computer games. Where the fuck does that come from? That comes from Phil back in middle school. Not getting sidetracked. The guys at work, there's a few of them. The crew I'm on's got like 45 people. It's super cliquey. And in this one clique, they throw rocks at each other, right? And there's been a couple instances where I have been late for certain things that all of us do or have to do as collectively as a job. And dude, they've bashed me. And I know one talks shit nonstop because he talks shit about fucking everybody behind their back. He's a tinier guy. And I don't respect that. And here I am talking about it on here, just venting, but I don't respect that. So I can't even look this motherfucker in the eye. I helped him today, but they don't see that. What they do see is me. I was late for this fucking one collective thing in the morning that we do as a group, and a machine broke down. Well, it happened a few different times. Like, no shit, I was like fucking stuck on this machine. There's not very good job briefings in the morning, and yada, yada, yada. Anyways, I didn't make it. And then a week or two later, I didn't make it again. And I was like, hey, I didn't do that on purpose. But I didn't tell them why. Because they don't fucking deserve to know why if they're going to be cocksuckers.
Yeah.
So at the same time, in my head, I'm like, dude, that little one, I'm like, keep talking shit, motherfucker. Dude, in my head, I'm like, just fucking relax. Or you keep talking shit, you might catch a fucking elbow and I'll get us fucking both fired, dude. Like, I'm not fucking hungover, and I don't fucking take well to that shit because I heard you talking about the other guy talking shit, and I'm like, fuck. Just find a happy place. Dude, and I do. I daydream so much about traveling and fucking why I'm there and what the bigger picture is. And so just venting that right there feels fucking amazing.
Yeah, but you're also not throwing him. He's a nameless, faceless person on this podcast.
Yeah, and I don't talk shit about him at work at all.
Pointing fingers.
Dude, I want him to live a nice, happy fucking life, but I don't respect how he speaks of other people and how he acts at work. It's a bitch way to act like a man. And it's just a bad way to act. And we all have that. We all have that at every fucking job, man.
It's in us.
We can all relate to that. And then we can always almost relate to being that guy.
Yeah.
But my thing is I'm trying to not be that guy.
Yeah.
And just knowing somebody's doing it makes me better because instantly I'm like, fuck, I don't have to do that. So I divert sometimes I want to punch him in the fucking head, But I'm also like, no, that is not worth it because that guy would fucking go down hard. I would. No, I know.
Fair enough. We've been in a tussle or two. I know you're not fucking around.
But I build up to that.
Yeah, and
I snap.
I know it doesn't take much before you are like, all right, I was at idle, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And now I'm redlining.
That's drinking, though. Imagine sober. It's different because I'm like fucking.
But you can
Be
talk
able to
yourself
out
real
of
quick. Survey says, how many times have you got into a tussle because someone had a different viewpoint or was spouting off their drunking shit, and you just like, all right, you fuck with my friend, you fuck with me, pop.
Yeah, it's happened. But I've
How
also
many
wired
times-
this way because I used to do it when I was a kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it was not just fucking. It's not just drinking, dude. Drinking it ramped up for sure, but yeah. Thinking back to like kicking Charlie in the stomach and throwing a hammer at your face, like,
Yeah.
don't fucking fuck with me because, and I've told you, no more fucking with me. You know, and then I'd be like, okay, you're done fucking with me, and I'm fucking with you now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the ball of
Excuse me.
yarn attacking the kitten for swatting it all over the floor and getting it unraveled and shit. Be like, all right, I'm back. And
Yeah.
now I'm going to fucking tie your ass up.
No shit. But anyways, it feels good to vent that out. I know we can all relate to that fucking those 1, 2, 3 people. And sometimes we absolutely love them. Sometimes we work too much together and we're just like, God damn it. Like, you're pissing me off, you know? Or I'm pissing you off. And then you're like, why am I pissing you off? Poke the fucking shit. But
Yeah, there were a couple times when we were overseas that it felt like, honestly, that
I would do that to you.
the responsibility of booking a ticket or finding a ride or getting a hotel was on me. And you know, like, don't even interject, motherfucker. You know that after a while I was just like, I let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. And eventually you would bark. And I'm like, dude, fucking, and we're in security lines and shit.
My favorite
Or
thing.
we're at a UNESCO heritage site. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking smile. I just want to do my thumbs up and get my picture taken. I feel more comfortable behind the camera. You do you. I'll take all the photo and video you want, and we'll go from there. And it's perfect for me. It seemed like a great way to spend time. And then every now and then you'd be like, get up there, man. Take your fucking picture. You should do a couple poses. I'm like,
Obviously, it's
I
not
don't do
you.
that.
But what I was going to say back there, you're like, don't even whatever. Fucking Central America was like me taking the reins of the trip. Like, I come up with these trips, man. Let's be honest. Have I come up with all of them?
yes, Magellan.
Yeah. So this is in my blood. It's in yours too. I just
It
make,
is.
dude. But I make people fucking go on trips. I'm making a girl go to Iceland, but and it's I'm not making her, but it was my fucking idea. I don't make people do shit that they don't want to do, but I suggest it, throw it out there on the table, and see if anybody. You know, I'm like a fisherman. But but I don't fish. When we went to Central America, and I was like, oh, let's hitchhike across the fucking country, yada, yada, yada. And we'll fucking head south to Panama. And we'll fly and we'll make sure it's a fucking real adventure, not like my Iceland trip coming up. You know, I don't feel the real adventure. Like, I might go sleep in a ditch this weekend just to fucking jumpstart this
Get
shit.
it out of your system. Be
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm fucking ready. It's like slapping an MMA fighter getting slapped in the face right before a fight. Be like, yeah, pump, pump, pump.
Fuck yeah,
and then
dude.
you go.
Yeah, I know how to fucking ramp this shit up to where it's like I'm really aware of my surroundings. I'm in the streets. I know what I'm doing. But so I took over like Central America and all this shit, not just the plan, but like, oh, I'll get the bus. I've been here. I've done that a little bit. I have a better idea than you. Let me take it over. And then we both went to Asia blind. And you were talking to the guy that was already traveling there a little bit about what apps help. And then you just started taking over. And dude, you give me an inch, I'll fucking take a mile. I just let you do it. And then I was just like, fucking book all the tickets, man. I'll fucking book the next room, but you can use my card on your phone doing that. Or we're going to stay here. We're going to stay there. Until, like, the very end, I started booking them.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't fucking put forth effort till day, like, fucking 40. Or, you know,
Yeah.
rough.
I would say Nha Trang.
Yeah, somewhere. No, because you booked that one.
No, I mean from Nha Trang north. I did the How Long Bay trip.
Yeah,
anyway.
you did.
Um,
I
and-
probably booked that really stupid, nasty, fucking sweaty, humid room.
dude,
I did book that one.
That was a fucking rainforest room.
Tell the people right now.
We get into is it Hanoi?
Hanoi, Vietnam.
Hanoi.
Yes.
Yeah, so we get to Hanoi, and I'm like, dude, this one's on you. Like, fucking figure it out. I've been doing it for weeks. And he gets this room, and we pull up to this little business district. Everything looks okay. It's like fucking northern Vietnam. What do you expect?
I thought it was
But there
awesome
was like
there.
a monsoon or some shit coming through, and it was raining like a bastard. We get out of the cab or the Uber or whatever we had, the Go, and walk up, check into our room. I was
Ugh.
like, hell yeah. And we walk in, the very first thing I notice, and I was like, this is Daikin Equipment, Daikin. So it's a HVAC company that works with heating.
Oh,
and
you don't
cooling.
like lesbians. I see.
I like them all.
Okay.
So I saw that, and I was like, and then I saw the walls and the ceiling and all of the furniture was sweating. I was like, how is there so much moisture in this place? So I'm dicking around with this thing, and then I get tired of it. It's time to go to sleep. We go to lay down, peel the covers off of
Oh
the
my
bed.
god, it was so
You
fucking
lay
terrible.
in that thing, and it was a water bed that was like a kiddie pool with a fucking duvet cover.
But it was a
over
mattress. It wasn't a water bed.
It wasn't a water bed.
Think of this. Think of washing your fucking sheets and drying them a quarter.
If that.
Drying them a quarter to a half.
You get
all
them
the
out
way
of the
dry.
spin cycle, put them on the bed, jump in, and hate life.
No, they were somewhat dry. Dude,
Mine wasn't.
fucking was so miserable for that. I was like, just go get some fucking vodka or something. And I was like, it's $15 room. Let's get the fuck out of here. But it's too late. I'm tired. I'm going to tough it out. I feel safe. You know, no, we could have walked one fucking door over, left that room, didn't even check out. We could have, and fucking got a dry room. I was just assuming that all of Hanoi was that way.
Same. That's why I'm laughing. Because I don't think if we would have gone, I think it was the entire facility was just like, yeah, we got a little bit of a water problem.
It was bad.
It was terrible. Everything was shocking you. Like, you go to turn the light on and off. It's like, "Bah-zah."
Dude, the
Shit.
weirdest bathrooms and stuff, like the one, you know, just that's just travel talk. I just thought that was a good fucking story to tell right then because wet sheets suck.
Mm-hmm.
And not when you could piss them, but these were like fucking pillowcases. The fucking sheets, the comforter.
The whole
The
pillow
goddamn-
itself, everything was
The
soaked.
couch was wet. And it was like, fuck, what is it? Dude, it's like being in a humidifier room, a terrarium.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
fucking terrarium. And we're like, okay, well, it's colder in Vietnam. Turn up the heat. No, it didn't help. Nothing fucking helped. That night sucked dick,
Yeah,
dude.
and then-
I'll never forget those nights, the shittiest nights of travel, where you're like, fuck, I didn't sleep for shit on the airport floor. And you're up at fucking 4:30 in the morning drinking coffee being like, no, I'm a fucking zombie right now because I can't fucking think. I just want to lay down on a nice spot. Your ass is falling asleep because you're sleeping in some stupid airport chair. They won't let you lay down in spots. So I start taking a fucking air up pad, dude. And I haven't even had to use it. But the moment I fucking ditch it, I'll be like, fuck, I needed it.
I wish I had that.
Yeah.
It's those little creature comforts.
Well,
that-
there's a
that
fucking invention.
help you through. Oh, there has been?
No, that needs on gravel.com, graveltravel.com or whatever, there's a plug for you for free. Yeah, to all my 2 listeners. They make a sweet little backpacker quilt, and I absolutely fucking love it because your feet fit inside of it, and it's got a little pocket for your hands, and it's really not that big, but it's just comforting enough, like a little fucking baby, dude. Like it's in our nature to want our blankies, and I fucking love this thing because I found like fucking condom wrappers in some rooms I've stayed in, and just
Sorry.
fucking yeah, blood stains and shit. I'm like, fuck. And when I have my blow up pillow and
Does it have a face on it?
yeah, it should.
I saw that
Dude,
fucker.
now that is a fucking that would be a hell of a fucking invention. A pocket pussy that blows up, doubles as a pillow for the male traveler. So when I have both of those things,
All I could think of was like Oman. It's got like a hijab or whatever that covering is.
I don't know. Yes, I
Yeah,
know what
you
you're
know what I
talking
mean.
about. I forget all those terms.
It looks just like that, so it's highly adaptable. It comes in like 7 varieties,
Yeah.
but all the same size, which would be really odd. Because
I just think the Arab pillow and the fucking quilt made my Peru trip when I went down there alone this last year fucking so amazing. It was the weirdest thing where it was like the little things in life.
yeah,
Like I had my pillow and I had my fucking blanket. You know what I should do is I should do a pillowcase for that pillow. But a fucking t-shirt,
T-shirt works
easily
great.
works. But then it's your fucking body odor, your sweat, your whatever the fuck is on there. Just
And then you
don't
mess-
use the old cum rag,
whatever's in
man. Yeah, whatever's in there. Like why? It's stuck to my face.
is that
Yeah.
poop? It's mine, so I'm not that worried about it. I have some on me now in other places.
Yes, dude. So, okay, I woke up this morning, right? And we're at work. And we're getting ready to back out. I just want to tell the story about my one fan. I guess if I have a fan. I appreciate you. I hope you're listening. So I wake up. I'm going to work. We're backing out. And I start talking about hitchhiking. Because hitchhiking gets me fired up like hunting does. And I haven't done it in a while. I'd really like to go take a quick hitchhike trip. Aside from those rafting ones, or the one I did last year was just to get to the airport. But I'm talking about it and people are like, oh. And this kind of wraps around to the guys, the group of fucking coworkers that throw their rocks and shit and they talk shit. Well, one does. But I'm talking to these guys, other guys in the machine I'm backing up. And I'm like talking about hitchhiking and how fucking crazy it was. And dude, and most people don't relate. They won't relate to that. There's no way they can, dude. They've never thought about fucking going on by any means. You know, they'll sit there in their fucking flat tire car. They won't go get help. They're helpless. A lot of fucking grown ass men and people are fucking helpless. I'm not leaving this car. I'm not doing that. I'll be like, dude, you could easily make it up 5 miles to the next fucking spot and get some solid real help from a human. And they're like, how, you know, I've hitchhiked. I was like, what you guys don't fucking know is I'm a crazy motherfucker, dude. Like straight up in comparison, in your eyes, I'm a crazy motherfucker. I started hitchhiking. Well, when I started hitchhiking was back in like fucking when I was 11 or some shit. But that was just like had to go get help.
Out of necessity.
Out of
just
necessity,
A handful of
but-
miles.
I started for fun in 2008. And I was telling him about this shit. I was like, oh, I fucking hitchhiked across the country with my brother, back and forth, you know, down I-15. It'd take me this long, you know, I'd always end up with $20, bag of groceries, some fucking weird shit you end up with. And I'm telling them my stories, quick stories, just the fucking cool ones real fast. And they're like, fuck, how do you trust people like that? I was like, to be totally honest, it's usually old hitchhikers that pick you up. Or gay dudes, they've picked us up, you know.
Yeah.
For some reason, we had attracted those guys in fucking...
Well, we're handsome.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You're goddamn right.
Go ahead and
Fuck
say it. You're handsome. I'm not.
So they're like, how do you trust people? I'm like, dude, they're fucking... I trust a complete and total stranger over probably 50% of this crew. And they're like, what? I'm like, dude, these guys here will stab you in the back faster than fucking anybody else. And there's older guys that do that. There's younger guys that do it. And there's just some people that fucking do it out of fucking, they're two-faced on the crew I'm on. I love them. But god damn it, it's like one big dysfunctional family. And I'm like, honestly, I'd feel safer hopping in a fucking random car than going home with some of these fucking railroaders. Even though they're fucking good dudes, it's like, they don't.
Yeah, but essentially you work at a goddamn orphanage of 12-year-old kids.
But they're grown-ass men, dude. Some that got 30 years and some got fucking... I might be the lowest guy on the fucking totem pole on this crew. You know, some got 5. And, well, I'm not. There's some lower people, but I got to talking about it, and I started getting fired up, dude. And I was like fucking so super stoked about that. And I was telling them more stories, and I was trying to, we're out of service, and I was trying to fucking find some photos of when we hitchhiked across the country. And I was talking about Vagrant Holiday. And I was telling about the bivy sacks. The bivy sacks?
Yes.
And I was telling them, right? And he's, oh, those are neat. I was like, I'd sleep. I was like, trying to explain to them, in a rest area, you, with just what you told me, I know for a fact you wouldn't go over into the bushes at night. And I also know for a fact you wouldn't fucking do this or do that, walk through the homeless encampment.
Why?
Yeah, because that's just who they are.
They feel unsafe.
They feel unsafe.
And
you're going to
out of
stay
control.
in the lights. Yeah.
They don't have control over the situation.
I was explaining where we camped on that trip. Go ahead.
That one outside Madison, Wisconsin, we were literally
all over
in a fucking flower bed
in the
downtown
world.
Chicago. Everybody's like, I wouldn't go to Chicago if you paid me. I'm like, well, no one paid me.
And we
but
slept
they gave
on
me
the
rides
streets.
there.
Yeah.
And we locked our shit in Union Station. We got back after a concert. You know the story. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. And I was sicker than a dog. The fucking thing was locked. You boys ain't getting in there till 6 a.m. tomorrow. It'd be like, fuck, it's not even midnight.
All we have is our clothes.
And this guy was
Who
just
gave
like,
us the clothes? Who gave us the fucking shit, dude?
this
the
guy,
fucking
this
bag.
guy named Tony that was
Tony.
also,
Fuck you, Tony.
What's your name? Anyway, he was like, yeah, you guys ain't getting in there, and we
It's gonna get cold, dude. It's October.
Yeah, but if you boys go take these couple pieces of cardboard and these couple plastic bags and go sleep right over there.
He didn't have to fucking do that.
He didn't, but he knew how cold it was gonna get.
He knew the fucking streets of Chicago. I'm talking Sears Tower right fucking there, dude, and Union Station right on the fucking river.
And he basically gave us exactly what we needed and only what we needed to make it through the night. And in the morning, we were gone.
But that guy was homeless. He'd done it before. Any one of these motherfuckers on the railroad would be like, fuck that motherfucking worthless motherfucker, dude. They are so fucking one-sided when it comes down to, like, thank God I grew up in A&P recycling out in the Dalles, fucking Oregon. My grandfather had a recycling center, and there was homeless people around. Whether it be homeless because of drugs, mental illness, or fucking anything, they were recycling things to get money to fucking live. And I grew up with that. And when I see a homeless person, I'm like, dude, I'm homeless. I am homeless.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy about it. But when I see them, I don't fucking instantly judge them. But I know motherfuckers that I grew up with from this walk of life that I come from, and they're like fucking throw shit at them, and they think they're absolute pieces of shit. Well, nobody knows anybody's fucking story, dude.
No. Well, not unless you ask.
And they're judgmental
not
cocksuckers.
unless you're a compassionate person and just like, what's the deal, man? What do you need?
Yeah, or some of them don't need nothing. They
No.
choose to live that way, which is scaring my way of thought for the future, for my brain.
I can't wait to see how this plays out.
Oh, God. Dude, flash forward like that movie Click or some shit, and I'm just fucking sitting on a bench. I'd have some hella crazy stories that most people wouldn't believe, but I'd be like, you know what? It's just easier to live this way. It is a weird way of living. And which brings me back to telling about the bivy sacks and why I would rather trust a homeless person over the fucking people at work. And that's a prime example. Those stories. But all the while, I'm trying to get some fucking service. And I'm coming down the hill in this piece of on-track fucking railroad equipment with two guys that I've been telling this shit about. And my fucking my phone goes off for my Instagram. And check it out, dude. I have a fan. We have a fan. This story, it's not even a fan. It's just a fucking like-minded person that likes this same topic of conversation. I would love to have her on this show because we could get into these talks, man. This is fucking passion for a weird thing that a lot of people share, but we don't know how to get out there to them. Other than YouTube and a fucking podcast. So I just always dreamed of this. I knew it. I knew there would be at least one, dude, somebody that can relate to this shit other than just you or me. Because let's face it, my cousin Charlie, no, he doesn't relate to this as fully as I do when it comes down to the travel and the YouTube stuff. But you've been on some, he lived in the car in Alaska and yada, yada, yada. He's fucking done his fair share, but I don't think he truly enjoys the adventure part of it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyways, this fucking girl gets a hold of me, and I look back a few months ago, and I'm like, so this person's added me here, and added me here. I'm like, why? I'm retarded. And so I'm fucking, and then they send me a message saying that they relate to the stories that we've told on here. And then I'm like, sweet. But I get to the bottom of the hill. They're like, hey, your number one fan, making a joke like, are you going to do another podcast? And I'm like, fuck. You and I were talking about it last night.
Yeah.
And then I was talking about bivy sacks, dude. Bivy sacks, the military ones. And then she's like, are you going to do another podcast? We kind of get talking about what's going on and our state of mind and what we like about this lifestyle and how it's, it's in some people's blood. Hands down, dude. It's in some people's blood.
Yeah.
And she's like, do you like Vagrant Holiday? I was like, fuck yeah. But
no way.
What I said was, I was Vagrant Holiday before Vagrant Holiday even took off. And I wasn't being cocky. What I was meaning was, I was literally just talking about bivy sacks. That motherfucker in Vagrant Holiday takes the bivy sacks, sleeps in them, does that style of travel.
The same one.
Dude, this fucking girl, this person, fucking shout out to you. Thank you for getting me fucking fired up again, because this is a big deal. And I almost believe that you're listening, and sharing that is what this is all about. This podcast, and when people doubt it, and I told a friend today, I was like, dude, I got a fan. I was like, fucking, and like,
you came by it honestly.
Yeah.
You didn't send a direct message like on Craigslist.
I didn't share my podcast
like,
ever. I've never shared it.
I wish I could say the same.
But it's okay. I was telling you about this whole deal. The YouTube channel, the podcast, and my Instagram. Eventually, after like maybe 10 shows, I'd like to fucking share them. Because Tad, our dad, our father, who art in heaven. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck. Yeah. Anyways, he fucking shared my one video, the last one, what I do for work. And he shared it a lot. And I didn't, it took the wind out of my sails. Almost so much to where this is what I wanted. Check it out. This is what I wanted. I wanted it to be authentic, where somebody would find it and be like, and let it do its own thing. Kind of like I'm letting my landscape business do its own thing. It's planting a seed and letting it grow, but feeding it and fucking being like, God damn it, I shouldn't have gave it too much nitrogen. It's fucked up. And then, but when my dad shared that, when Dad shared that, it upset me in a way. It took, like I said, took the wind out of my sails, but I was like, I can't let that happen. It's just because I'm not to a comfort zone of getting into the podcast or into the YouTube where I want people, where I'm proud of it. Because you got to suck at something to get good at it. And I'm in the middle of like being bad at it. And I was like, I want to get a new camera. I want to have some ideas, better transitions, all this shit. Same with the podcast. I want a better intro. I want to work at some of these things. Boom. Dropped it all, focused on landscaping. But when he shared that, it just fucking irked me a little bit. It's like, don't get in the way of how I want this to go. Later, have at it. But
not until I say when. Be like, okay.
For family, that's totally cool.
Absolutely. You're just setting a boundary and be like, dude,
fucking step off. It doesn't need to go to everybody in your fucking Facebook inbox, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't even use Facebook really. I use Instagram and fucking the Spotify deal and YouTube. And so what in that time I was like, I'm just going to fucking delete my name. I'm going to start a random one like Vagrant Holiday. Something that's just one thing. It's not just Devin trying to figure out his fucking life and do this podcast and do this YouTube and let it evolve. But I'm like, and I could do that at any time. I could stop. I don't have to stop this, but I could just be like, okay, how creative do I want to get? And I don't have to tell anybody I'm doing it.
Have you done that already?
No, I haven't, but I could.
Let me know when you do.
Yeah, so you can share it.
Oh, I'm gonna. No, I think
Does it make sense why?
It absolutely does. It's
real. I want it to be fucking real. I don't want to cram this shit down anybody's throats. I want people that want it to find it and people that like it to share it. But I don't want my fucking dad, oh, I'm proud of you. No, I get it. I know you're proud of me. I appreciate that. I fucking love you, man. But fucking, he literally clicked all, send all, inbox. You got it. I got it. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Why did you send me my own video? I fucking made it.
He's like, maybe you should check this out. This guy's really good.
I appreciate it, but at the same time, you know what the fuck I'm saying. Hopefully the audience knows what the fuck I'm saying when it comes down to authentic. And so when I got this one person to get a hold of me and be like, hey, I fucking lived on a sailboat. I swam with dolphins and shit. And when I tell that when I tell that story to my coworkers, they look at me like I'm fucking stupid because they have no fucking idea that that person actually did it, or they think that people are fucking lying when we tell them, dude, I was hugging tigers. I actually did swim with whale sharks. I hitchhiked a fucking plane ride. I fucking have done these fucking things. And you know why? Because they were fucking free, dude. And it was just real life fucking experience. And people look at you confused. Well, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Dude, fuck you.
When I tell people, like, man, I walked around Southeast Asia with a fucking rash that I got from some stupid potato for, like, weeks.
Fucking ears were bleeding.
I blew out my eardrum on a flight.
Yeah.
And I got coronavirus before anybody knew what the fuck it was.
Dude,
and
a month before.
Sat in a sauna for, like, thanks to you, and sweated that shit out. And then I took ivermectin.
COVID.
Yeah,
COVID. Let's pop some codes.
One.
Yeah, I'm not tagging shit. This is real.
They're like, that was fun. I was like, dude, it was more fun than you'll ever know.
It is.
Because it was all about, like, am I going to make it back? Am I, like, now I'm running through the streets of fucking Ho Chi Minh City or, old Saigon, doing laundry and getting some extracurricular stuff, and then, like, going back to the room.
We accidentally did meth thinking it was coke, and then we did another gram of it, snorting it. It fucking burns. And I was like, fucking A. I absolutely, dude, I would never want to fucking ever do meth in my whole fucking life, dude.
No,
I've seen what it's done to people. I would, if you had some right here chalked up, lined up, there's no way I'd touch it. I'd be like, get it the fucking out of here. I don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But I did it.
Yeah.
I did it.
We did it.
Yeah. And I was like, we better make sure it's not meth. Holy fuck, it is.
Yeah. Make sure it's not meth. Go get more. And then I'm soloing through catacombs in the middle of this fucking gigantic city.
Culture shock city. Like, if you haven't been out of the fucking country, good luck in Mexico. You're like, oh, culture shock. I'm like, dude, there's just gringos everywhere. Everybody's just like, I'm going to Mexico or Hawaii. I am sorry for you.
Yeah.
Because if that's, or a cruise.
Just go to Vegas and save yourself a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
As far as the ticket price is concerned, you can get all of the same drugs that we took, except for, well, no.
Was it
you can
$8 a gram of meth or some shit? It was not much,
if
dude.
that.
But they were selling it as coke.
Yeah, which
Dude,
was...
Dude, let's be honest. Marked location. Dude, they trust me. They didn't know what the fuck we were saying.
No.
And we didn't know what they were saying. So check it out. We got a bag of white powder. No, a little vial of white powder. I'm pretty sure the first one was like some really chopped up coke.
Yeah,
But
was
the
just
next one was...
stepped on a lot. The next one, when I went back,
It
we were just
wasn't,
like,
dude.
this stuff tastes like shit.
It
The drip is
burns.
terrible. I feel like I got heartburn.
what drip?
And I was like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm going back to go find these fuckers. If you need some more, come find me. So I walk like literally a block and a half down the street.
It's amazing we didn't die.
I should have been killed. And then some. Because, and the same thing in Bocas del Toro. We were looking for this fucking guy that we gave him money. I'll come back. The old golden rule. The exchange
That
should happen
never,
at the same
yeah,
time.
it has to happen at the same time. And then by the end of that fucking night, I'd bought a fucking vial or a baggie of fucking Ajax, and I was like, tasted it, and I was like, whew, that would have really hurt,
Yeah.
dude. And I didn't. I was like, okay, it's time to be done partying. No
Yeah.
more doing fucking hard drugs in foreign countries, you dumb fuck. So those are my fucking near misses, dude. Near misses. But so what I say, I fucking hate the fact that I did that, but I love the fucking story.
It happened.
Yeah, I love the fucking story. It's real. It happened. I can't take it back. So I'm going to wear it like some fucking pride, even though it's a dirty, dirty thing. It was neat. Not at the time, dude. I felt so dirty. But now when we talk about it, it's like, what the fuck? That's the story. We don't remember the time that we had this a fucking nice Thai tea on the side of the street, or the fucking some shit we just don't remember. But we'll never forget the fucking Saigon meth story, dude.
No, not at all.
That's what makes this podcast work. Like I want to. So with this listener, I'd love to have her on the show. I would love to start talking to similar people about this shit and let them tell their story. Not like, how Soft White Underbelly does some shit, but I just want that for fucking travel. Not these fucking van life motherfuckers, dude, that are complete. I'm talking real van life fuckers. Not
the ones that
dude,
make the news and
perfect fucking white
Yeah.
teeth, dude. They have everything perfect. It
they're
almost
staying
seems
in
like
the Hilton and their fucking van is in the parking lot.
they're $150,000 vans in the parking lot, and they're in the
Christ,
Hilton.
Don't
So
even get me started.
they definitely have money, but the thing is, it seems like bullshit. Where you watch Vagrant Holiday, you're like, this motherfucker's doing it real. He's not even showing his face.
Never shows his face.
Yeah, I could kind of.
He's not doing this for recognition. He's doing it to tell a story, and I think that is what sets us
This.
apart.
Yeah. Well, and
you
I'm
in
trying to get
particular.
to the point where I can learn to tell a good story with YouTube. But so far, it seems like I've had more fun doing the podcast because it's a lot of work to edit videos and then try to think it out. But goddamn it, I still want to fucking get better at it. I don't want to copy Vagrant Holiday, even though I'd already fucking been doing it.
Well, and
I won't.
For
I
me,
won't
the
copy
difference
nothing.
between and maybe you can relate, but you can sit and edit a fucking video
Yeah.
until you never put it up. I've done it a lot.
No, I just want to
But
keep
with
it simple,
with
right?
the podcast thing, it's like
It's going. It has a
we're
flow.
doing it. Yeah, we have a timer or we don't have a timer, and it just
Happens.
all your shit's out there for everyone to hear, or
Fuck the timer.
the
It's-
one fan.
Dude, I thank you. I thank you so much for getting me fired back up about this. It is, and I think you sent me, I'm just talking to her directly right now. You had sent me a couple voice, like, instead of texting, just sent me a couple voice things. And I was like, fuck, this person would be great to have on the show. Not only that, would be great to do her own. I would totally listen to it because I know she has a ton of stories. She was sending me photos and stuff of back. She used to live in a van. She'd cross the country for certain jobs. She's like, I've fucking lived on a sailboat, owned her own sailboat, dude. So, and
Accomplished.
dude, in every right that I totally respect.
Yeah.
She's probably so fucking down to earth when it comes down to being open-minded and not judging people, even though judging people can be fucking super fun. As long as we're not being fucking hurtful, dude. I don't want to...
Yeah.
And, dude, be hurtful. And here I am saying, like, behind your back. But if you don't know them and you cracking some fucking jokes, dude, sometimes jokes are the funniest shit. But this, open-mindedness where we're not so sensitive to certain topics.
Yeah.
Because I had a dinner the other night and I fucking said a joke, dude, and it
did not go over well.
It didn't go over well, but here's what
Immediately?
happened was I was just like, fucking, let us pray. It's just a goddamn joke. Right when the food sat down and it fucking smelt amazing. It was good. It was salty, but I fucking love salt. And I fucking said, let us pray. And the two people jumped my shit about it. I was like, whoa, fuck. It was just a joke. And they let me know very clear that they don't fucking pray. I don't know, but they don't pray. And then they also let me know that, and then I was like, Jesus Christ, it's just a fucking joke. I'm not fucking religious. I could have said Buddha Christ, fucking, Allah. I don't fucking care. I'm not sensitive when it comes down to the topic. What I am, and I feel awkward, is when I offend people and they let you know that they were offended. Oh, I'm sorry, you're sensitive. I would love to sit here and joke about every fucking religion on a joke. Something that passes my fucking, goes right over my head, not offensive at all. Like, dude, I don't care. I don't want to say them on the fucking podcast, but I will say a ton of words that are totally offensive. But I don't mean any harm towards nobody. But they crack me up, dude. They crack me up. And that if that's wrong, then...
We kind of grew up in a different time. Even as kids, we saw life from a different point of view. And to cope with some of the bullshit that we had to endure as kids, where do you go? How many times did we keep each other up at night? Because we shared the same fucking bedroom until we were probably 15, 16 years old, and then we got that apartment. How many times were like the dumbest shit,
dude,
stuff that no one would ever laugh at, and we're just like throwing it back and forth like you're playing catch, but it's in your room.
Yeah, and you're just pillow talk, dude.
Yeah,
it's fucking
done.
Funny. Well, you end up doing that sometimes around certain people in the middle of the moment, and I can ruin a fucking moment, dude. I have. I've been on dates, dude. Check it out. I was on a date one time, and this is similar to what I'm talking about. And we were talking, me and this girl, dude, fucking here in Helena, Montana. I had a date back in 2019. And we're talking about Dumb and Dumber all day, quoting it, having, I would say, for a good 3 or 4 hours. Having a fucking great day, giggling, laughing. Now we're cooking dinner at her fucking parents' house. And she's like cutting the potatoes or tomatoes or whatever, fucking veggies. And I'm like marinating steak and shit or whatever. I don't fucking cook and I don't fucking fish. Anyways, but I'm hanging out with her. And fucking, she says something to me in French. And we're like sipping on some wine and stuff. And I was like, I don't know, Lloyd. The French are assholes. She sets down the fucking knife, looks at me, and she's like, I'm French. And am I an asshole? I was like, fuck. I just fucked up. I just fucked up major, dude, because she has that look in her eye, and I've only been dating her like a month. I was like, this is not going to end well. She's like, you should watch your mouth. I was like, fuck. I was like, no. Hold on. The French are assholes. Get it, Larry? Lloyd Christmas, fucking Dumb and Dumber. We were talking about it all fucking day. She's like, yeah, well, maybe you say some offensive shit. She totally forgot about what the fuck we were joking about all goddamn day. We're quoting fucking movies here.
Yeah.
And, well, anyways, I learned right then that I pissed her the fuck off. And I was like, holy shit, that escalated super fast. I offended her. And I thought we were just having a great time. Anyways, midway through that, I was like, I think I'm just gonna fucking leave, dude, because she was like kind of letting me have it. I was like, I'm gonna leave. She's like, you're just gonna run away from this problem? I was like, there was no problem. There was no fucking problem. I was like having a great night, and you just threw a wrench in my fucking gears. And maybe I threw a wrench in your gears, but I totally didn't mean to. And you need to understand that I didn't mean to. And I'm like begging for your fucking forgiveness right now. And no, dude, she was not fucking having it. And I about left. Anyways, ended up banging the shit out of her that night and fucking having a good night, waking up the next day. And within a couple of weeks, I'd snapped my ankle. And then I dumped her, dude, because we got to talking about guns. Don't talk about firearms with somebody like that either. I was like, they're just guns. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, there's some touchy shit to talk about. And if it doesn't really fucking affect my day to day, then I'll joke about it.
You could have totally turned that one around too and be like, oh, you're French? So you know the ticklers and croissants and like,
Oh, yeah.
what else is French?
Yeah, fries.
Yeah. Oh, fries. You like fries? So do I.
How about I French kiss you?
With a fry.
Yeah. Anyways, dude, I'm famous for that. Fucking saying, putting my foot in my mouth. What did you say the other day?
A closed mouth leaves no room for a foot. So you're better off not saying anything, just absorbing the information that's going all around you and be like, all right, one of these days I'm going to make a really bad joke and it's all going to come back to this moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I always
no
say
one's going to have the context.
a nickel ain't
except
worth
for
a
me.
dime. Yeah.
I heard another good quote today, but I don't remember it.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I'm sure it was. I hate when you can't remember shit or you're like, I need to remember to look that up because I'm so interested in it right now.
I
And
thought about going in the house and like writing it on my hand.
A quote?
So that I could, yeah, it was, fuck. Moving on. I'm not going to be able to remember it right now.
It doesn't matter. I really want to have some guys. There's a couple guys that I want to talk to from work on here, on this podcast, and see what they're fucking. I think when you throw a mic in front of somebody, they might be like, God damn it. But you got to be able to get. I have to learn how to get them to tell me their story.
Get them comfortable.
I'm not. Yeah. You want 8 cups of coffee?
You want 8 cups of coffee and a hot towel?
What is this? Oh, not that towel. Not that towel.
No,
Yeah.
don't grab that one.
Yeah.
It looks like a fucking flag, but there's no wind. It's just.
Yeah. Dude, they're like, what the fuck? Sick bastard.
I brought that one from home.
Yeah.
Devin, you don't have a home.
I don't have a home. No, I live in my truck. And when I was going back to talking about the hitchhiking and stuff and like wanting another YouTube video, and I'd like to create this, but it was like, I'd like to just go for a quick hitchhike again. Back on my, just go for a small one.
It would be fun. I think about it quite a bit, especially when I see, pardon, especially when I see someone that's not sitting there like anything helps. I still care about those people because you should.
Yeah.
It's just humanitarian type part
It's
of myself.
different,
It's
dude.
like, I've had that look in my eye. You need help. Let's fucking figure it out. But when I see people that are just walking down the road and they're around our age,
Yeah.
they don't look like fucking Father Time. with
Yeah,
an
dude. Some
old
hitchhikers
backpack
are
from
rugged as
Vietnam.
shit.
They're just
Yeah.
like, I used to have a dog, but the rest of him is in my backpack.
Okay.
That is instantly sparks like all of the memories, or I pick out a handful of them and I start thinking about it, and then that parlays into where could I go? Because like at any point in time, I could take a 3-day weekend, 4-day weekend,
And just go.
Fucking go.
You could hitchhike. Dude, we could hitchhike from here
Could go
this
to
weekend.
Colorado. Could go to fucking wherever.
That's a little far, but we could totally hitchhike to Wisdom this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go call Dad.
Yeah. Fuck you. Fuck you for sure.
Yeah, dude, god damn. Because I work for the railroad and we did one fucking awesome freight hop. I did it.
You did.
Yeah, and so when I say like, I've hopped freight trains and shit, not to the extent that it may sound like.
In the singular sense, not the
Yeah.
plural sense.
No, I hopped a freight train one time. When I was a kid in the Dearborn, when they'd go like 30 miles an hour past, but it was only like through the siding and then walk back. But this other one, so I work for the railroad too. If the shit hits the fan, I know I have a solid freight hop career ahead of me.
Yeah.
I do.
They'd be like, was that Devin?
No. I was like, I could hop right there. I was telling guys at work, like, oh no, that's dangerous. I'm like, fuck you and your danger. You know, fucking get on the goddamn train. I was like, you know what I'll do? I'll fucking weasel my way into a BNSF fucking key and I'll ride in these goddamn locomotives like Jim Stobie, one Kenobi. Fucking,
Rest in peace.
yeah, dude. And, dude, check this out. Fucking Jesse Stewart died.
Really?
Yeah, he died a couple years ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Cold Beer, that song?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a hard life.
That's
If you're going to live it all the fucking way through.
Yeah.
Like, what was that one movie you showed me that was based out of Missoula with the two kids? One was like really trying, the other one wasn't trying that hard. Foster care and shit.
Yeah, something like that. I got invited. A person was in that movie, and she was also a foster child. So she knew those two kids growing up and being pushed around from family to family and then going back to like the orphanage or whatever the terminology is. So she invited me, her and her husband, to that premiere. And I went and hung out with those people. And I was like, yeah, I've done some hitchhiking and stuff like this too. And here's the gradient. Like, there are a lot of people that will never ever try this type of shit. And you and I might have a conversation with them and think, oh, you're fucking crazy. Or it could go the other direction.
Dude.
And be like, no, motherfucker. My parents abandoned me before I even knew.
I didn't have a choice. Yeah.
I've never seen their face.
And you're doing it for fun.
And I'm doing it for fucking pleasure.
Oh, dude.
And in my leisure time. And I was trying to have a conversation with him that night in Redbird in Missoula. We were all sitting down having beers and stuff. I bought him a couple drinks and we had appetizers and everything. And at the end of it, the guy that was in that movie came up and was just like, you know, you're kind of arrogant. And I was like, I am?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just trying to relate to you. He's like, you don't understand. You can't. It's not like
for fun.
It's not an elective for us. This is going to be my life for the rest of my life. I never knew anything different.
Yeah.
I never had an opportunity to make myself better. You know, the world's been kicking dirt and sand in my face forever since I can remember. And yeah, like, you should probably just be quiet. Almost verbatim.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sorry, dude. And at the end, he gave me a hug. He's like, it's okay. A lot of people don't know. You're just one of them. I was like, fuck. Fucking
Like,
floored
God
me.
damn it. Yeah, some people.
So I bought like 2 or 3 of those DVDs because all of the money was going to go to them. And I got them drunker than fuck. And we ate a whole bunch of food. Never saw them again.
Yeah, but still, yeah, they fucking have a different life. And here I'm just like, you know what? Okay, so I'm not trying to fucking totally relate with everybody. We can't relate with every fucking buddy. And we can't make them happy. But the thing is, the guy didn't actually have to make you feel bad because you're actually done it and you're doing it for fun. Well, fucking...
It made him feel bad.
Yeah. To say that?
Yeah, I think so. You could see it in his fucking eyes. He was like, you know, this isn't fun and games when it's your entire life. You can't just come from a fucking place, whether it's below or on the poverty line, and say, well, I've done this, that, and the other. I lived it, and I have been living it, and I'll die living it.
Well, that's him saying he's going to live that and die it. But he doesn't fucking have to. You can do what you put in is what you get out. If you find hitchhiking fun and you want to hitchhike, fucking hitchhike. If you're total vagrant and you want to drive it, you want to work and get a car, man, fucking try. Figure out what way it takes to get there. But I understand that it would be really fucking tough to come from absolutely nothing. We didn't come from much. Dude, straight up, we didn't come from much. Thank God for grandparents to be around.
Yeah.
Some people ain't got nothing, but I feel like if we didn't have our grandparents, like, Tad wasn't around at a certain amount of time, dude.
No, he was doing the same shit that
he
we're
was
doing now.
Yeah,
like back then.
Dude, the only reason I hitchhike and fucking hopped a freight train is because of Dad.
The stories we would hear from whatever family get together, or you just go over, you're getting dropped off at the grandparents. Be like, you know what your fucking dad
I
did
mean, I
today?
wouldn't have got
Be
that
like,
from mom.
I wish I knew.
I get my alcoholism from both my parents. And then seriously,
I did so much thinking about this today on that rooftop working on equipment. I was like
what?
I got a big old hat, staying out of the sun, working on a computer, programming HVAC equipment.
Yeah.
And for no reason at all, I was like, look how far I've made it.
Yeah, on your own.
It's insane.
I mean, maybe not technically on your own. We all need a little support. But I'm not talking about fucking money either. I'm talking about, like, good job. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Support.
Positive reinforcement. It goes a long way with a lot of people. And some people just cannot.
They won't
They're
even hear it.
physically incapable of hearing it. But I was sitting there and I was like, well,
some people don't need to hear it either, and they just succeed.
If you truly are a product of your environment,
we should be fucked. We should have been fucked. We should have been the same thing. Like,
jail.
I'm living this life. We went to fucking jail, dude. We went to fucking jail when we were 12. Trust me, we were going down the same path the other guy from the fucking movie went down.
Yeah.
The only difference is we chose not to.
That's where I was gonna. That was
at a young age. Like, I was been kicked in my face all the whole time. Yeah. Maybe you're a little bit of a fucking rebel the whole fucking time too. You know, maybe you fought the system. Yeah,
hit me, hit me.
There are some people that have been way worse off than him, and succeeded way farther than we ever will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking A, dude. So it ain't a pity party.
You're only a product of your environment
if you allow it.
If you are incapable of changing your environment, and I don't mean that to sound insensitive or anything, but if you don't like where you are,
fucking change it.
Change it.
Try to.
Just, you don't have to do a 180, and it's not always going to work, but persistence is key. And
dude, if you if you sat in the shit long enough, you can't smell it. It's time to get the fuck out of the shit.
It's time to wash your ass.
Dude, and it's like, even like where I live at home. Like, I have this spare truck. I don't need this fucking spare truck. I figure I can get 8,000. There's my Asia trip.
Oh, the Toyota?
Yeah, I don't need it. It's another friend's dream. But the only thing is, I keep it because I want to spend time with my friend.
Yes. You meet him in the middle. He might have a hobby or something. You're like,
I'll tell you this
that's intriguing. That's pretty fucking cool.
That fucking guy would not fucking save any money to go anywhere else in the world with me to spend time with me. He wouldn't. Period. He wouldn't.
And the one time he did,
I came up with it. I said, we're going down to Costa Rica and stuff. Right? And you're going. And it was younger before he had a kid and all this stuff. But all these,
Well, didn't he find out on the trip?
Not that one, but a cross-country trip.
Oh, yeah. That was the
Everybody I know has kids now. Everybody I know has kids, pets, a fucking house, all these things. And I know, yes, we have to grow up. But then I got another friend, right, that's like, everybody has all that stuff, and I just want to have fun. And they don't have any goddamn money. Well, it's like, you got to work to get the fucking money, dude, to have your fun.
Yeah.
Well, nobody wants to go have fun anymore. They just want to start businesses and fucking... I was like, fuck, we're growing, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm not raising a kid, but I get 6 months off a year. This is my fucking time to make hay when the sun shines. This is me saving money. Every time I dig a fucking hole, I picture a fucking beautiful sunset somewhere the fuck else with a different smell and a different way of life. Because it
smells
fucking awesome, dude. That shit changes your fucking life and your brain.
Yeah, on a chemical level. Like,
it has to. It has to.
There are certain smells. When we stepped off the fucking plane,
they hit me
in Singapore, and I'm like, I've never smelled shit like this. Not shit, literally, but
not in Singapore, bro.
I've never smelled this type of stuff ever in my life.
Yeah.
That was the punch in the face. It was just like, hey, you're not in Kansas anymore, motherfucker.
Yeah. Dude, that is the best.
So, yeah, that woke me up, and then it was like, all right, now we're going where? We got tickets here, we got tickets there. So we changed our environment, adapted, overcame, and then
we
had to
stayed
constantly
in that.
do that. It's the fucking spin cycle. And
But then we're in Asia, right? We're in Asia that whole time. We're like changing up. Everywhere we go, we're in Asia. And then we're like, let's go to Egypt. Boom! Again.
yeah,
But those are
Night
the
and-
firsts.
landing
dude.
in Oman, I was like, okay,
Wow.
I've
only seen this on the news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen this on the news, and every time I've seen it on the news, it's like, you better be careful.
You're like, is there going to
'Cause
be an Afghan girl like that magazine?
These fuckers are coming for you.
Yeah, why?
And all of those people, they may not have struck up a conversation. We didn't really speak, but none of them were atrocious. They didn't look at us like, oh, you fucking white pieces of shit.
Except for that one in the Bangkok airport, dude. That
Dude,
guy, he didn't
fucking-
look at us like that. He just looked like he had the ability to fucking
He looked through our
cut our
bodies,
heads off.
saw our souls, and was just like, I will make you my goat.
Yeah,
Like,
dude. I've never
oh my
seen
God.
a fucking
Like,
person like that before.
The best
dude, that's
description,
day one.
the best description I can give of that person is if you look at old black and white photos of Gregory Rasputin, the fucking sunken eyes, they're super light blue, which, if I'm not mistaken, is a recessive gene. So somewhere he had, like, I don't know. Anyway, he was fucking spooky, dude. I was like, ooh,
And
I
that
better
guy-
mind my P's and Q's, because that fucker could take me out. And I don't think he would
Care.
blink. He wouldn't blink. He'd be like, you're gone.
He looked rugged. Anyways, I'll never forget that guy.
Holy Christ.
I can see him slow motion walking through the airport, man. I want to make a movie one day or write a book. So I had a fucking thing today where I was just on the bus with the crew. As much as I was like saying that they would stab you a couple of them would stab you in the back, throw you under the fucking bus. We're literally on a bus today and we stopped. We stopped and we're all grown ass men in our work attire. And we stop at a gas station because the bus needs air in the tire. And it's this gas station just not far from this motel with the full service. And what is that? What's that fucking Santana song? Ole Kovara, or whatever the fuck.
Oye, como va?
Yeah, whatever. And it's playing, and it's like just like fucking. No, it was in the background, and I was just sitting there zoning out. Like I was like, fuck, I feel like I'm in a movie because it was just background music. Guys were in the bus like, why the fuck we stopping? Why the fuck we stopping? But all the while I was picturing a nice boom frame, and it was just like me. It was like I was telling my story in my brain with this beginning of like
This
how
opening sequence.
this opening sequence of how my life, not just my day, but how my life was going from the moment I decided to be like, I'm done. Like, fucking done with this shit. And
Your
I was like, I
breaking
was having
point?
not totally a breaking point, but like a very peaceful point where you're like, wow, I could leave right now. I could get off the bus right now. These guys would lose their shit if I just walked. And I was picturing a boom shot of my face. Ole, whatever the fuck, Come Va, or what is it? What's the song? It was playing.
It's a Santana song, I
Yeah,
think.
what's it called?
Oye, como va?
Yeah, whatever. And it was playing, and I just picture this boom shot of like the bus driver getting in. You could hear the fucking bus door shut, and then driving out the corner, taking a left and heading up to work where we're supposed to go, and then like pulling over, and then me getting out and going back here over to the motel where I'm at. And then that just is like the beginning of the movie. You know, and I'm like, fuck, I could write a fucking movie because I picture this shit in my fucking head.
So
And
do
it
I.
was one of those moments where I was like, also, I'm going to look back at this one day in my life and I'm going to miss this moment. And it was cool to realize that I was in a moment. Because those smells that you smell when we're on a trip, and when they fire up the moment, dude, like, so when I was in the Marines, I smell smells still from the fucking Marines. And I also fucking see shit. I could hear the gunfire at the range today. It took me back to the Marines. And then the trips, dude, songs, certain things that take you back. And it's nice to be in the middle of one and being like, I'm in the middle of one right now, and I'm going to look back and I'm going to be like, that was, aside from a couple dudes at work and their negative attitude and them and that kind of affecting me a little bit, I'm fucking happy.
Yeah, it ain't got nothing on this fucking street meth.
Yeah, I'm fucking happy, dude. I was like, wow, I'm fucking legitimately happy, and I'll look back on this. There was another quote I let you hear the other day off of like an Instagram reel, and it was like, hey, you, just a reminder that you're living the life that your past self was looking forward to. So don't fucking let him down.
Yeah.
And then that's me. I worked my ass off to get here. Like, I worked my ass off to buy my house, living in my truck. I worked my ass off to sell it. I've worked my ass off to stay sober. I've worked my ass off to get the job because I know that the job has the furlough. And now I'm working my ass off to have the fucking well, I just lost it. Working my ass off to have the steady income of the job.
To afford your personal freedoms.
Yeah. All while sacrificing the nice house, sacrificing this, sacrificing that. Because when I was living in the truck to buy the house, I was looking back to the oil field and be like, wow, I do have a lot of sacrifice in me. When I had that girlfriend, and like, I was like, fuck, I've come a long way. Like, you were like, I did this. When you're on that roof today or yesterday or whenever it was, you're like, I did this. I came a long way. I could have gone another path, but something drug me this way, and I need to be here.
Yeah. I came by this career accidentally, literally. And that gentleman from Lincoln that allowed me to go join his crew, like, he changed my life.
Yeah, dude.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's a great dude.
Yeah. And
yeah. Have you ever let him know?
Yeah, I worked at his house. He's like, can you fix my fucking air conditioner? Because it's hotter than shit, and I fucked my elbow up.
Yeah,
and
dude,
I'm like,
honestly, that is a
absolutely
mentor.
help you out.
That is a mentor, a successful man. I look up to this guy because he quit drinking at the same age in the same town and stuff, and he was just successful. And he said something one day to me. He's like, I knew right when I quit drinking, and it was the second time I quit drinking, that if I'm going to get this, I'm going to have to work at it. I'm going to have to get to work. I got to put in the work. And then I get like my work ethic from my grandpa Paul, but seeing men that are successful and women that are successful, the ones that appreciate the work. It's not necessarily the work. It's what you get out of it. What you get, what's in the work is what fucking pays off in the long run. And there's a lot more than you would think. There's a lot more into the work than
it pays
than the work itself.
It pays in the short term as well. I think everybody, or the majority of people,
focus only on that short term. This fucking money.
Yep. Yeah.
They're not realizing that it's taking the time to learn something great. Like railroading. I don't feel like I'm going to learn anything great there, and it doesn't really go over to anything, it doesn't really transpire over to any other career. Railroad is railroad. That's where I don't feel 100% committed. Whereas I'm committed to this. I mean, I try to be. I'm committed to the traveling. I love that. How come that can't be my career? But I have to work for it. So when I turn it into work, I'll appreciate it. That's the other fucking saying. You do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. But very few people do it. And the ones that do are fucking successful.
Yeah.
The ones that get to that point, like, I absolutely do love landscaping, but I can't do it all the time. I could potentially be successful at it.
Well, you're good at digging holes.
Yeah.
You've been doing it your entire life, and metaphorically and physically.
Dude, it don't bother me.
I'm just going to dig a hole in the backyard. It'll be 8 feet deep. Well, yeah, exactly. For what? I just felt like digging a hole.
Yeah, I can just see the progress.
Sometimes you can stand in it. And sometimes
Dude, we'd get a new house or
travel
something.
stuff.
I would just go straight back out with my shovel and start digging.
Yeah, no shit.
How
I
many
was there.
holes did I fucking dig?
I don't know, more than that goddamn stupid Disney movie. Like,
Yeah. I'm tired, Grandpa. Well, it's too damn bad. I was never tired.
no, just let me dig one more.
Oh, I would dig them deep too, man. All the way into them. Fucking climb out of
Drop
those.
down 6 feet and then go 6 feet vertically and then go
Like
8
as far
feet
as I
laterally
could.
before it collapsed.
Yeah, I should have been a
That's-
miner, you know?
Yeah.
And there's
Well,
still
you've
time.
got the heavy equipment shit, but I don't think you're doing a bad thing by following through with the railroad. You've got benefits,
It's working out.
retirement,
Yeah.
and the fact that you're able to get the hell out of here. I'm envious, kind of, but at the same time,
Is it weird that I have that extra 5 months to focus?
sometimes it's fucked up, and I'm just like,
People get jealous of it.
well, before your sobriety,
I'm trying not to
before
waste
that,
What?
you weren't that focused. You're just like,
Partying.
all right,
Wasting that time.
yeah. You would go get a pallet of fucking
Beer.
30 racks and just
Drink them.
drink them until you had to go get
I
another
would start
pallet
a
of 30
project.
racks, and you were getting paid to do that.
Yeah, I would start
Literally.
a project and never finish it. Yeah, alcohol and drugs, they suck. I realize I honestly just fucking don't like them. Like, I got that DMT pen, and I'd like to rip down the DMT, but I'm totally happy in my life and who I am and what I've become to where I don't need it. And when I did ayahuasca down in Peru, I was like, I saved my life. Man, dude, I could write a fucking book.
That's
One day I'm building the story. That's why the YouTube and the fucking podcast is here now to get it down.
Yeah.
And when I fucking talk about this shit, I feel better. And then when I have somebody from fucking Arkansas out of the middle of nowhere, I'm in the middle of nowhere, Montana, and we have something in common, dude, it lets you know that you're not alone in your journey.
No.
All you got to do is reach out, but you don't reach out to the fucking negative cocksucker at work or the negative people that are in your life. You reach out to somebody like this person in Arkansas that is fucking about this lifestyle and this, maybe not necessarily just this specific lifestyle, but the feeling of being like alone in the world when you're not, when we're not. And if we follow that and we surround ourselves with people like that, I just got a glimpse of it today. That made me feel so good. So again, thank you out there from Arkansas. You are the fucking man, the lady. You are fucking great. And I know I have an idea where you're coming from, and you have an idea where I'm coming from, and I'm so thankful for you. That's fucking awesome, dude. That's awesome. That's powerful shit. That comes from where? Because I put this out in the middle of nowhere. I put this out, and the one guy at work, super nice guy, great guy. You got one fan. Talk to me when you get 10 million. I'm like, dude, talk to me when you quit being depressed about your fucking life, dude.
Or
you
don't.
No, I don't mind. I love fucking talking to people about sometimes maybe their problems, or if they want to fucking talk to me about it. It's like, dude, we've been in these situations. All I can tell you is it gets better. There's like a weird fucking realm in life where you find it and you're like, I don't care what anybody thinks. And a lot of people go through their life being like, I don't care what anybody thinks. And we all do. But they're the ones that struggle the most
With what people think.
Yeah. And then hear
So,
me saying
That's like making a sandwich, licking the knife, and then be like, do you want one?
yeah.
No, I think I'm okay.
Oh,
Just-
no, man. You should have like 8 kids. It's
Oh,
so great. I'm like,
yeah.
you look like you're fucking 45 and you're 30 fucking 5, dude.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that. And I know that's a natural thing to do. Have the kids. I'm happy for them. And one day I would love to have a fucking kid. But then they can be like, now you have a kid. Now you know why we couldn't travel the world. So I went to the lake the other day, too, with a bunch of group of friends, and all my other friends just drank beer and they didn't get off the fucking boats. Well, a couple times they did, but for the most part, they didn't get fucking far from their beers. And I'm not dogging on them at all. The most people I had fun with that day were fucking 9, 10-year-old fucking kids that grew up around me. I'm fucking Uncle Devin, dude.
Yeah.
And I felt like a fucking kid again. I was like, I relate to you guys way more than your fucking parents, dude. They're talking about nonsense. Fucking complete nonsense. Buying another boat, doing this, doing that, yada, 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 yada. I was like, they forgot the joy of owning the boat. I'm not saying that they did or they didn't, but the alcohol takes over and they're like yelling at their kids and the kids are swimming. I used to be a kid that loved to swim, get fucking sunburns, all this fucking shit. So I was just dunking their little fucking heads and stuff and fucking throwing them off the boat. And I was swimming just as much as the kids. So then with the boat, one boat would circle and I would just like jump off the back of the boat. And then we're like, do you guys want to go into the middle of the waves and we'll just float in there while they run the boat around us? Because the adults weren't getting off the boat to swim much, dude. They weren't.
You left the drunk drivers behind the wheel of the boat to circle a bunch of kids in the wake?
I was in the wake with the kids.
You're going to protect all of them?
No, but they were laughing and screaming and shit, and we were having a fucking great time.
I think that's called fear.
No, it wasn't. Dude, we had a great fucking time, and they were like chasing them down. I just had a fucking great time, and I don't get to go out to the lake. And then, instantly, it's not, aren't we having a great time? No, it's like, you need to buy a boat. I'm like, I don't need to buy
join us in our misery.
Join us in our misery. And the one guy has a company, and we talk about investing and stuff. Well, X amount for a boat. Let's just say fucking 10 grand for a boat. 10 grand could have went towards his fucking business to where one day he could have had a fucking $30,000 boat if he would have put the 10,000 towards the business. That's just where I'm starting to think more so. But also, check it out. They say you spent 5,000 on a trip that could have went into your business. So it is what it is.
It is what it is, but you're still I don't know. You do you, man.
Fucking A. But the thing I had the best part about was hanging out with the kids. They didn't give a shit. I had them flipping off the camera and stuff. Dude, when their dads or their moms turn their face, I just flip the kids off. Like, fuck you guys. Like, I'm one of you. It's cool. Like, you guys can fucking be yourselves around me.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, don't frickin' talk to me like that and shit, dude. I'm like,
yep.
They say fricker and
fricker.
stuff. Yeah. They don't say fuck. And they're like, that's what I'm frickin' saying. Dude, I'm like, they're exactly the way I was.
Yeah.
You let them slip and then you're like, oh, I'm sorry, mom, dad. But they've had enough beers. They don't care now.
Yeah.
But if we were somewhere else, I'd be getting my fucking ass spanked or some shit. But no, you fucking drop a frick every now and then.
What that is
I
teaching
call
them.
them pussies and shit.
Yeah. What that's teaching them is all we have to do is wait a little while. Mom and dad are going to be fucking 3 sheets and we can
Then it's a free-for-all.
Then we can take the car.
Yeah.
I'm 9. Push the gas pedal a little harder.
That happened growing up where we're like, it won't be long and mom will be drunk or dad will be drunk falling out of the camper or mom and so are going to get in a fucking fight at like, 3, 2, 1, boom. Fuck you. And you're like, holy shit. Yeah. Domestic violence. Great. Fucking great. I'm a kid and I got to see this domestic violence. Sweet. Dude. No, not fucking sweet. Fuck that life. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I'm cool with fucking bringing it up though. Every now and then.
I think you have to. You can't dwell on it, but every now and then when the time's right.
It's a pretty good fucking
get it
reason
off
as to why I don't have kids because of all the shit I've fucking seen. And they'll never fucking be like, I'm
tying back into
go ahead.
A point I had earlier where you were saying thank God for grandparents and like mom and dad, so on and so forth. I remember we were on a mushroom trip in the trailer in Alaska at the end of town, and we were all sitting there we were starting to come up, and we were laughing a little bit, and then things got serious for a second, and I was like, yeah, I mean, look at us. We had the most fucked up childhood ever, and you were like, whoa, no, we didn't. And I was like, what do you mean? All of that stupid bullshit like the
Everything.
domestic violence,
The shit I was
fucking-
just talking about. Yeah.
all of that stuff that was going on, we also had opportunities to overcome that and escape it on our own terms. And you're like, we didn't have that. I mean, look at all the stuff we've done. And back then, like, we went
Nothing.
to Alaska and everything, but we hadn't quite gone out further.
It's
but
literally
you
the
stopped
reason
me.
why I am
Yeah.
who I am.
You made me think about, like, oh, actually, there were quite a few redeeming moments in my childhood, to just speak for myself. That was like, man, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, if we didn't have all those things, fuck the dark side. Here again, coming in with my movie. Fuck the dark side. All this shit that can happen, it's like Radio Flyer, that movie. With Elijah Wood way back.
When
like
the pressure cooker goes off and he's just like, they're making
He's gonna
that
get beat.
concoction. He knows. And the stepdad ends up taking it out on the fucking German Shepherd, killing that thing.
Yeah, and he's going to get beat, but where do they find their fucking shit? In
On
that goddamn red wagon. Or, they
zipping down a hill at 100 miles an hour.
They found it as kids, and when the beauty of that movie is it's like dark at home and sometimes good, but mainly dark at home. But in their world,
yeah,
it was freedom. And so I've never tried to ever escape that freedom. My
you
dark,
embrace it.
yeah, my dark is like sometimes work. Like, oh, it's bad. I was late for the work party in the morning. I didn't mean to be. And now people are being dark towards me because of that, like a fucking bad parent. Well, all of those dudes just so happen to be parents.
Yeah.
And they're young parents. So thinking about that and I still do it to myself. I Walter Mitty out and I fucking go to my place in my head, my happy place. I did this all the way through the Marines, and I get happy in shitty, weird situations because you got to embrace the suck and you can escape it in your head. It's like fucking Shawshank Redemption.
Yep, there's always a silver lining, dude. There's
Fucking A, dude. That's the fucking...
And don't, well, especially in Shawshank, don't let them know your next move. Like,
yeah, don't let them know that.
all
The
of a sudden,
sisters.
you're posting pictures and you're in fucking Ecuador. Like,
Yeah,
you fucking
dude.
cunt. Like,
Yeah.
even though I knew about that trip, it was like, I just started this fucking job. I can't leave.
No.
I totally could, but I would have fucked up the best opportunity that has ever come my way. And
Not Ecuador,
I had,
Peru.
no, but financial.
Both?
Yeah. This.
Now I'm going to Iceland.
I put in my fucking time, and with this company,
Yeah.
no doubt in my mind, they'll be like, absolutely, you can definitely go do this.
Yeah.
I mean, I got news yesterday about some pretty cool stuff at work, and that's going to benefit me. And
Never lose sight of the dream. Don't go too far into debt. Never lose sight of that dream because 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed in the things that you didn't do than by the things that you did do. Mark Twain. Throw off the battle lines. What? Catch the trade winds in your sails?
Yeah,
Sail
I think
away
so.
from the safe harbors?
Yeah.
Fucking epic quote. If you got to piss, go piss. Because this has been one of the more fun podcasts, dude. I think. And I owe it to fucking my brother. And my friend, my new friend in Arkansas. So my brother's taking a piss. I'm just sitting here in this motel room checking shit out. I got my little podcast set up. I got my MacBook Pro not plugged into the podcast. I got some Samson mics, Q9Us with the booms. And then I have a Zoom recorder that only has 2 XLR mic ports. That is all I'm doing to make this podcast happen. I bought a little and some nice headphones, which are Samson. It's a kit. It's online. It's on Amazon. I went and looked at Best Buy because I didn't need to get top of the line, but I also didn't need to get garbage. So I ended up getting this setup, and I bought like a small little Pelican case for handgun pistols, and that's where I put my boom mics and my cords and the Zoom One recorder. I think it's a Zoom One, whatever, Zoom recorder. And I put these in there, and they can just bounce around the back of my truck because that's where I live. But I think this whole setup, the Zoom recorder was $200. The mics were, I think, 500 and some change, say 600. And I put it on my computer. The mics came with the boom, 2 mics, 2 cords, 2 of everything, 2 sets of headphones, and it's a nice little setup. And then I think I spent roughly $2,600 on the computer. And it's a MacBook Pro with a terabyte, 14-inch. I think it's the M1 or 1M chip in it. And I just wanted something up to date with some ports on the side of it. They've since come out with a brand new laptop, but I'm not buying it. And then for my YouTube, I have bought the Sony ZV-1 vlogging camera. Most of the time with my YouTube, I was just using my Apple iPhone 13 and my drone that I bought in the Philippines, which is a DJI Mavic Air. And they've come out with better shit than that by now. Or, I mean, they have. I know they have. And I'd like to buy more, but I don't think you need to get all the best shit to be creative. And that's why I didn't buy the best stuff. I think if I can get a audience eventually and some viewers, then I can step it up one day. But this is like the perfect setup to where I feel comfortable. The only thing I would like to change about my setup right now is adding a mic for one other person, not 2. I don't think 4 people would do it in the way I want out of my system right now. 4th seems like it would be too much, don't you think?
Yeah, I think you get 4 people on a podcast, they're going to be talking over each other.
But 3...
A lot. 3, I feel like, is it's a pretty healthy number. It's stable.
Yeah, and it's the size of the stuff I have. Like, I'm definitely going to keep this Zoom recorder. And I also might, I don't know, do you have any mics I could take to Iceland with me? Because if I just take that and shitty headphones, tiny headphones, I'm trying to fucking get my shit squared away. Like, this is my go-to here.
Yeah.
But I would like to have my other setup for traveling. I need to go get that backpack. I hate to fucking spend extra money on stuff before trips. There's a whole list of shit that you would like to always have, and it's never going to end. The list of shit that you need for trips is never going to end. But really, you don't need anything, because the happiest I ever was traveling, not the happiest, but one of the happiest I ever was traveling was when I was on that hitchhiking trip in 2008, where I literally only had like a set of flip-flops, skate shoes, 2 pairs of shorts, a couple shirts, and 1 pair of pants, dude, and $10. And no cell phone. You know, I didn't have shit. I was just living in the world that was there. Fuck, now I gotta piss. What time is it?
I don't know.
8:44. Let's wrap this up. That is... Do you have anything else you want to say before you go? Before we go, close this down? I know we got an hour or so into this. What song would you like to hear at the end of this? I'd like to put it in there. Something that leaves you feeling fucking motivated for your life.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm going to let you pick that one because sometimes my taste in music, you're like, yeah, okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's good.
I'd never listen to it again.
Now shut it off. But, yep, that's it. Here we go. Thanks, Tyson, for joining me on episode number 6, I believe.
Yeah, I think it is 6.
And to all you listeners out there, if you don't mind liking and sharing, thank you.
Can I just say real quick to close this out?
Yeah.
I have heard that don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so many times at the beginning and at the middle and at the end of videos. That's my biggest pet peeve right now.
Yeah.
And not to say that you shouldn't say it.
How about you cocksuckers out there?
Thing.
No. Yeah.
Do your thing, but
it's a go-to. It's a given.
Just like Arkansas.
It came out of nowhere.
If they're going to find it
they'll
and
look
they
for
like it, they'll reach out.
Yeah.
So you don't have to remind everybody every fucking time that, hey, this will come back, but only if I got you here.
Yeah.
It's still going to happen.
That is right.
It's
You're
still
very
gonna
correct
happen,
about that.
but-
It is a pet peeve because people do it. And just before I jump into this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell.
Yeah. And I would like to personally thank our sponsor, Devin,
Yeah. Yeah.
for buying all this shit.
And him and his landscaping company. He's Employee of the Month this month, and we are going to grant him with a trip to Iceland. Fucking cocksucker. Yeah.
All
All right.
expenses paid.
Well, enjoy this song. Listen to it all the way through, and good night.
Good night.